What up, y'all? I have a special guest today. So this is my friend Brian. He actually did his PGY2. He does informatics, and so it's really cool how we met. How did we meet, Brian? We technically never met, right?
Technically, no, but it was pretty random. I think I was just calling my girlfriend at the time, and she just kind of was like, "Hey, you got to check out this dude I met, Kevin." And she just, put the phone in my face, and that's how it all started. So
it's pretty cool. Like, what I like about you is that you're, from our FaceTime conversations, our Skype conversations, you're like really real. You like hip hop, which is a huge plus in my book because I'm a huge hip hop head. But that's pretty much how we met. This is actually my first Skype call, so hopefully in the future I can do more of these. But today, what I really want to talk about is your matching experience. What was your matching experience like? And I was just wondering if you could tell me a little more about it.
Yeah, no, absolutely. I think it's a little interesting. So I knew I wanted to do residency way back. So probably like second year in pharmacy school. Mm-hmm. And I was, prepped. I was ready. I got all these like hard rotations. Yeah. I volunteered, all the works, right? Mm-hmm. And so everyone was like, okay, where's Brian gonna go? Where's he gonna match? And I remember talking to three of my friends, actually two of my friends, and we were all sitting together, and we were like, one out of three of us will not match, according to residency statistics. Usually it's like 66% matching. I was really low. So I was like, you know what? That's not going to be me. I was like top of my class. I was very involved and all that kind of stuff.
Were you Rokai as well?
Yeah, I was Rokai.
Yeah, so. See, guys, don't ask me about Rokai shit, because I was Lokai, man.
Lokai. You had Lokai too?
Lokai, bro.
I was actually part of both. I was Rokai and Lokai. So it was good. So I thought I was confident, I was good, and I was gonna match. And then match day came, and I was ready to check my results to see where I went. And I opened the email, and the email just said, unfortunately, you didn't match. And I was just, I was just kind of in shock.
Dude, what was going through your head during that time?
Well, I remember the match results came out at like 6 or 7 a.m. And I was like, I'm excited. I actually did not even check my email for 4 hours later.
Yeah.
But I opened it, and I was just in my bed, and I was just, I think I kind of zoned out. Yeah. Essentially, and I was like, I'm not sure what to do. So I was like, the first thing that went through my mind was, I need a job. I have a job. Because everyone at match time is like around March or so, and everyone already had jobs or they had a residency. So there's only a few of us that didn't have anything at that time, and I was like one of those people. So I was like,
oh, so you just like threw all your eggs into residency?
Yeah, all my eggs. So I had nothing lined up. So I was a little worried, and because there was, I think, about 2 or 3 months left until graduation.
Gotcha. Oh, fuck.
Yeah. So I was like, loans are gonna come, and so I kind of zoned out for the next probably 2 or 3 days. Okay. And I kind of, talked to friends. I was like, what should I do? And I was like, should I scramble? It was insane. There were 155 spots left in the scramble.
What is the scramble?
Oh, that's a good point. The scramble is essentially for everyone who didn't match on that day. It's changed a lot now, because now they have a match part 2.
Oh, okay.
That just changed this year. Okay. So if you didn't match like the first time, you'll be put into the scramble or the match part 2, and they actually redo the entire matching process again. Okay. So there's a higher chance of matching. I don't think that everyone matches in the second part, but there's, it's just like another shot. But so it's called the scramble because, usually everyone is just like frantically emailing people, calling people, and just going crazy. Yeah. I didn't do any of that. I didn't even partake. I was just like zoned out. There were only 155 spots in the scramble when I applied, and there were at that time 1,500 applicants that didn't match. So
that's a lot.
Yeah, 1,500 applicants, 155 spots, and I was like, there's no way I'm gonna get a spot. So I just Yeah, I had a lot of friends talk to me and they're like, you know what, you just gotta try, you never know. And so I did. I tried. And I think the craziest thing is I applied to probably like 13 programs, which cost me like $300.
Okay.
It's crazy. And I actually got interviews to my number one spot, and I also got an interview to my last spot.
Yeah.
It was interesting. However, I turned down the interview from the number one spot because they needed me to fly out there to interview the next day, and it was like an $800 ticket.
Also, like these sites and stuff, like what kind of sites were they?
Yeah, most of the sites, I was very interested in critical care, ED, and infectious disease. So most of these had PGY2s in them.
Oh, okay.
Pretty much. So those were the sites I kind of looked at. I think I was being a little arrogant because they were really like prestigious programs. I was like, there's no way I'm going to get into them.
Gotcha.
But so yeah, I just kind of, I turned down the interview to the top site because it was just kind of out of my hands at that time. I didn't have enough money to fly out there, and I was like, I probably won't get it. So I actually went to the interview for my last desired spot. So okay. I was like, I went in there. I think I was like very confident. I did well. And the next day I got an email. It was like, congratulations, we really want like you to come on board and be our next resident.
Yeah.
So I was like, thank God, because I was like, I don't know how I'm gonna pay off these loans. But yeah, it kind of worked out like that. It was a very interesting experience. I think the biggest thing is just that it was very humbling,
Mm-hmm.
And if I were to say any advice to anyone, it would probably be have a backup.
Yeah.
That's horrible. I was lucky, 1 out of 155 spots, and I got one. All the other, what is that, like 1350 applicants did not get any spots because it just didn't exist.
Yeah. So you just like threw a Hail Mary and you actually ended up getting a spot.
Yeah, thankfully. Very lucky.
So like during the whole like application process, how did you kind of like, what was your competitive advantage, or how did you distinguish yourself from the other candidates and stuff?
Yeah, that's actually a good question. A lot of people talk about this because, these applicants, so those 155 programs, right?
Yeah.
They have tons of emails. And it was funny because the program that I applied to, on the very first day, got 110 voicemails from different people. And there's only 2 spots. They actually had to scramble for 2 spots. Mm-hmm. So the advantage that I had was that I actually did 2 rotations at that site.
Oh shit! So you had like sort of an inside scoop.
Yeah, I had a big inside scoop. So I think that if I didn't have that, there probably wouldn't even be a chance that I would have gotten an interview. And for the other interview that I got to my preferred site that I didn't decide to interview at, the only reason why I got an interview there is because I applied before the scramble.
Yeah.
So they knew that I was already interested. It was just that there were too many competitive applicants that applied.
Yeah.
And I remember I talked to one of the applicants, and I was like, what's your GPA? What activities did you do?
Yeah.
He was Rokai. He was really smart. And I was like, what's the difference? And he was like, oh, I also have a PhD. I was like, what? I was like, okay, you win. Yeah, I think the biggest advantage I had was just because I did a rotation. That is the only thing. Mm-hmm. So it's those inside connections.
So what do you sort of recommend like people that are looking to go into residency like do right now? Let's say they're in the first year or second year of pharmacy school. What's one thing that would be the most effective thing that they should be doing?
The number one thing is building your connections. Those connections are far and few in between. It's just connections get you everywhere. Even like my PGY1, my PGY2, and even my job was, I think, solely based on connections. So yeah, I just think putting yourself out there, being social, don't be a boring pharmacy student and not talk to anyone, Yeah, just build those connections. I think that's the best advice I can give.
So guys, if you really like Brian on my channel, I'm thinking about maybe doing a few more videos with him. If you guys got questions for him, or if you guys want to follow him, I'm going to post his YouTube right here. I don't know. Yeah, so I'll link his YouTube and stuff like that. And yeah, thanks again for giving me a time to talk.
Yeah, thanks, Kevin. It was really cool. So hopefully we can do a couple more of these going forward, and
yeah,
be sure to subscribe.
Hey, by the way, no dick pics to Brian, all right?
No, please, none of that. None of that. I'll filter them out.
All right, guys, take care. Peace.